Another of your projects, which you've been working on for quite some time, would it be fair to say this is your Apocalypse Now?
It might be. The horror. I'll turn them upside down. Yeah.
Your winding stream, right?
Stream. Yes, it keeps winding. The stream keeps winding.
But it's a fascinating. I felt very privileged to see a sneak peek of it.
Thanks.
Here, and once again, if you didn't, next time we have one of these, better show up.
Show up.
The footage of the people you interviewed was fabulous. Notably, the last living interview with John Cash,
right,
which was moving and fabulous. And then you had all these other relatives of the Carter family. And I know a little bit about them, and not nearly as much as you do or as the film expressed, and I was really touched by it, and I thought they were great interviews.
Oh, thank you.
And the story was fascinating. Do you have anything you'd like to say about that particular project, either the either the making of it, process of making it, and or the content and your experience with getting those interviews? And I mean,
Sure.
it's a short interview. You don't have to tell
No,
but just a small.
I mean, I think the thing about it, I think the thing that speaks to how long it's taken, but also has made it worth sticking around for, I guess, and meaning staying with it in my experience, is that the early interviews I got were some of the most precious stuff. I got a really wonderful interview with Rosanne Cash, and then that led me to this interview with Johnny Cash.
Mm-hmm.
And we were all clear that he was not doing well, and the privilege of interviewing him under any circumstances would be obvious, but the fact that this man passed away 3 weeks later
mm-hmm.
made it like, oh my God, I'm sitting on this fantastic historically important thing. And he's not talking about himself, and I think that was the reason he granted the interview, was that it wasn't really an interview about him.
His life and his career.
No, and I don't think he was interested. I mean, he might have done it for Rosanna. I'm sure he would have done it if she'd asked. But it was really about the people he loved. It was about his wife, and it was who had recently died, and it was about his mother-in-law, whom he adored, and who was one of the original Carter family.
Yeah.
And that was so powerful that I'm not a quitter, and I wouldn't give up on this film no matter what. But I feel like I've been entrusted with this thing that I need to finish this film, because this is historically important stuff in my book. I'm a big music fan, and I'm a big pop culture maven, and I owe it to this thing that I was granted to make sure it sees the light of day. So that's like, it feels like a big trust to me that has been placed upon me, that I need to finish it. So that sense of mission is really useful because a lot of the time it's really just hard to get this stuff finished. And because of the epic nature of the film, it's a pretty pricey film.
Yeah.
To make in the grand scheme of things, because of the music rights and archival rights. So I really feel like I've just got to see it through. So it might be this year, it might be next year, it might be before we're all old and gray.
If someone out there in the Webiverse or whatever you want to call it wants to give you money to help finish this film, is there a place they could?
There is. Thank you for asking. There is. They can go to BethHarrington.com, all one word, and it's there's a little donate button, and it's a tax deductible thing because the film is set up as a nonprofit through the Center for Independent Documentary in Massachusetts. So people can donate and get a tax deduction and help American history breathe.
Yeah, you'll sleep better at night.
You will, and I'll sleep better.
You'll sleep better at night.
Yeah, no, that would be great. That'd be great. I mean, it's really interesting. I've sort of come full circle on some of this stuff over the years with funding, and one of the things that's great is that I do sense this karmic thing of like, money's really good, and God knows we need it, but it's just also nice to just know that there are people out there who pay attention to this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually have a Facebook page where I post clips and things from the film. It's
Nice.
The Winding Stream.
Winding Street.
And I have a Facebook page in my name, but then I have one that's just the Winding Stream, which is a fan page.
Right.
And so you can go and visit. There's clips from the film and other Carter family and Carter family music, and I try to keep it really fresh and put all kinds of cool stuff up. We have recipes from Mother Maybelle.
Wow.
It's really cool. There's a cookbook that I found. It's Mother Maybelle's recipe. Someone gave it to me actually. So, what I was going to say is the money's great, but just having people interested and supportive is really great. And I have found over time that, interestingly enough, those relationships with people who are sort of fans of the topic I'm interested in have proven some of the most valuable people in the process for me. When I did Welcome to the Club, I did my first interview with Wanda Jackson, and there was a gentleman standing there watching me interview her who was in this club we were in. And he came over to me and he had a t-shirt on that said "Kinda Fonda Wanda" on it. And I said, "You must be a real fan." And he said, "Yes, I am, but I really like women rockabilly singers in general." And I said, "That's interesting because most people don't know who they are." And he listed a handful of them. And I said, "Wow, you really know your stuff." And he said, "Yeah, are you going to interview any of them?" I said, "Yes, I am, as soon as I can get in touch with some of them." And he said, "Oh, I know where they all are."
I've been stalking them for
And
years.
no, he was a very nice man. And he had contact information and had been in touch with all of them and called ahead and made introductions for me.
Wow.
One guy,
Wow.
one-stop shopping. So I'm very open to what people have to tell me about the things I'm working on. Because
That's great.
there's some great things. And so it's not always about money, although money's good. But it's also about, that kind of symbiotic thing with people who care about the same topics.